Okay, so we'll try to understand anti-money laundering. So we completed importance of anti-money laundering. Importance. And thereafter we have seen how money laundering works. Three stages: placement, layering, and integration. What is placement? Keeping, yes, pooling all the funds and keeping at one place. And thereafter layering. So trying to separate the source with the funds. Identity from whom we obtain the money. So we can try to separate the identity. This is called layering. What is point number three? Integration. Again, getting back the money into the Indian economy. So country's economy, look, if we can get the money, then that is called as integration. Okay. So we completed placement, layering, and integration. And there is a list which is given here. These are international regulations, right? Every country will face these type of instances. Anti-money laundering will be there for all the countries. It is not only restricted to India. It may be for America, UK, any other country. So each and every individual country will take anti-money laundering measures to eliminate this corruption, to eliminate this criminal activities, eliminate this terrorism. So all those things can be eliminated by implementing the policies or rules, regulations in that particular country. So there is a list which is given. United States law, the US Patriot Act, Bank Secrecy Act. These are the acts which try to eliminate and money laundering. Okay, these are the acts which try to keep anti-money laundering measures, right? So in Europe, Europe 4 AMLD EU, fourth AML and anti money laundering directive. Okay, so this is just a list which is given for understanding purpose. That's it. See, proceeds of crime, money and laundering and terrorist financing act in Canada. Canada law PCML FTA. Okay, this is the name of the act. So PCML TFA. గంట ఏం కావాలా? So PCML TFA, proceeds of crime money laundering and terrorist financing act. Australia, it is also given 2006 anti money laundering and counter terrorism financing act. So what is this list? Every country came up with certain anti money laundering measures and it is named. Okay, so you can read that list. Next, come to this point. AML requirements for financial institution. This is important. So generally all these activities will happen through banks, right? Banks in the banking system only all this will happen. So finally the money from abroad will come to India through banking channels only. Even from here it will go through banking channels only. So what kind of measures the financial institutions need to take? Okay, need to take for the purpose of elimination of money laundering. First important point, first requirement on banks, KYC. What is KYC? Know your customer. Okay, so when you go to a bank, just like that, they don't give you bank account. When you want to have a bank account in a bank, they get all your identity proofs, right? All your information, identity proofs. So when you want to do high valued transactions, then immediately they will try to ask the reason for the same. Why are you transferring more than 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh? All transactions when you do, the bank will try to get the information from you. For what purpose is it happening? Okay, this is first measure for banks, financial institutions. Know your customer. Just like that, they don't encourage anyone to open a bank account with that bank. Before they give the bank account, they need to know what? KYC. They need to have that KYC. Lot of documents will be there. All the documents will be filled up and and those documents are duly verified, and then the bank account will be issued to you. Right? This is point number one, KYC. Verification of identity, legitimacy, and in-depth documentation for the customers. Okay, when the bank is having the customers and all in-depth verification who exactly they are, they will try to understand. That is first point, KYC. Come to point number two. Point number two, large currency transaction reporting. Okay, you know, when you want to deposit more than 50,000 rupees, then you are asked to provide PAN, right? So ala anamata, large, huge, high currency transactions. When you say example 1 crore rupees, you are transferring from one account to another account. Immediately from a bank, you get a call. Okay, why exactly is this happening? Is that you who is doing the transaction? So our calls you will get. Okay, that is called large currency transaction reporting. And you believe me or not, after you do such activities and that high currency transactions are listed and that should be forwarded to the next level authorities. Say income tax department, they get all the information from the banks. Did you know or not? Okay, whatever you do from your bank account, if there is any suspicious activity which takes place, that will be informed to authorities. Okay, see, it is a complaints in US that if a customer does more than threshold CTR, what is CTR? Currency transaction reporting threshold and say example 1 crore. 1 crore can above. If it is there, it should be reported to the authorities. Alarm. So then it shall be reported to the higher authorities. So there will be a threshold. And threshold will be different for different countries. In India, it may be 1 crore. In foreign countries, it may be separate amount, right? Different amount. So it all depends upon the CTR rules. Okay. Next one, suspicious activity monitoring and reporting. Okay, there is a team in a bank. Banks will have a team. They always monitor what exactly you do with your bank account. So high transactions on a bank accounts, and they identify. They keep on monitoring those bank accounts from where the funds are getting into and from to where the funds are going out. And they keep a track. Continuously, they monitor. They identify the suspicious transactions. ఎందుకంటే lot of times the money may move from one country to another country, and this may be because of a reason called as terrorism, or this may be a reason called as money laundering. And hence they keep a continuous monitoring, continuous eye on the transactions, whatever it is happening in those suspicious bank accounts. Okay, this should also form part of the requirements for whom? Financial institutions. Financial institutions and let us take the example of what? Banks. Okay, these are the requirements which are put in place by the government on the banks for the purpose of eradicating money laundering. Okay, so first one, what is this? Ore nu karipastunora stand karipastunora, right? So what are the three? KYC, large currency transaction reporting. So large currency transaction reporting, whenever we listen to this word, we have the threshold limit. So if we cross the threshold limit, then immediately it must be reported to the higher authorities. Okay, I have taken the example of what? 1 crore, 50 lakhs, and then the rules, as per the rules. Okay, if it crosses, then it should be reported to the higher authorities. That's it. And the next one, suspicious activity monitoring and reporting. What I can see, making numerous cash deposits. Continuously you are making cash deposits and withdrawals over several days to avoid the limits. See, at a time you are not supposed to withdraw 50 lakhs. But what you are trying to do, 50,000 every day you are withdrawing for a period of 100 days. Finally, you are withdrawing 50 lakhs, right? At a time you are not withdrawing, but every time you are withdrawing some small amounts and put together it is becoming large. So these are suspicious activities. Okay, these are suspicious activities. At a time we cheyalata. Say example, if you deposit 10 lakh rupees in your bank account, at a time you may get the income tax notice from where you got this 10 lakhs. Okay, instead of doing 10 lakh rupees at a time, deposit 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh for a period of 10 days. What you are trying to do, you are trying to escape from the income tax notices that are to be received. Right? So these are the suspicious activities monitoring and reporting. Please read this. Keep it as important also. AML requirements for financial institutions. Please read. Technology is day by day implementing, right? Technology. Okay. Previously in 2000s, we used to have keypad phones. Thereafter, it is upgraded to smartphones. Thereafter, it is upgraded to 3G, 4G, high-speed internets we got. And you believe me or not, now these cell phones are able to capture your voice. Say example, phone ఇలా పెట్టాను. Phone ఇలా పెట్టి we were discussing about trips. So this is coming winter and we can plan to Kulu Manali and చెప్పి we are making some discussion. Okay? And you believe me or not, you open your Instagram and scroll the reels. You get that Kulu Manali. So what is this called as? This is called as machine learning. AI, machine learning. All these are the technologies what we have now. So even these technologies can be used by banks to identify the suspicious transactions. So data analytics, data mining. So lot of transactions happen every day, right, for in a bank. So all those transactions may be now verified using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and try to identify those suspicious activities. అందులో మొత్తం ఎంటైర్ ఆల్ ద ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎస్బీఐ, అవుట్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఫ్యూ మే బి ఐడెంటిఫైడ్ యాజ్ రెడ్ ఫ్లాగ్స్, అండ్ ఇట్ మే బి బికాస్ ఆఫ్ వాట్, మనీ లాండరింగ్ యాక్టివిటీ. ఏది దట్ సస్పీషియస్ యాక్టివిటీ మే బి బికాస్ ఆఫ్ మనీ లాండరింగ్. సో దట్ కెన్ బి నౌ ఐడెంటిఫైడ్ యూజింగ్ ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ అండ్ మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్. డేటా అనాలిటిక్స్ అనే వర్డ్ వింటున్నారు. నౌ దీస్ డేస్ వెన్ యూ ఓపెన్ Instagram or YouTube, lot of advertisements you are getting regarding data analytics. It is a profession now, data analytics. So all this is because for the purpose of what? In this financial institutions, they can use these technologies for the purpose of identification of crimes, money laundering instances, right? So this is next point. Please read technology and anti-money laundering. And there is a side heading. Please read the technology and anti-money laundering side heading. Nowadays, financial institutions are making use of AI. ఎక్కడ విన్నాం మనం? ఏ సినిమాలో? ఎస్, CEO రిషి కుమార్. AI, ద ఫ్యూచర్ ఈజ్ నౌ. తెలుసా? మహర్షి మూవీ చూడలేదా? Nowadays, financial institutions are making use of AI, data analytics to detect unusual transactions. It includes next generation AML technologies. What is AML? Anti-money laundering technologies to curb and effectively identify financial crimes. So financial crimes identification ke we are using what? Next generation AML technologies. So what comes under next generation AML technologies? Machine learning. So we can write here machine learning. Next one, following are the technologies. This suspicious activity monitoring. So these are all the technologies what the financial institutions use. Okay. So suspicious activity monitoring. So using technology, this will take place, right? Intelligent alert prioritization. Techniques. In this process, they use technologies. Say example, intelligent alert prioritization. So there may be 10 suspicious activities. Out of that, priority must be given to few, right? All are not equally important. Now the machine will try to give you the list on priority basis, and you must investigate based on that priority list of suspicious activities, right? So these are the techniques we use to identify the instances of money laundering, and for that we may use what? Technology we use in these techniques, right? Intelligent alert prioritization into the meaning enti. What is the meaning of intelligent alert prioritization? So in the process of identifying the suspicious transactions, we may obtain 10 or 15. Out of that, it will prioritize based on the importance, based on the high value. Okay. So కొన్ని normal activities ఉంటాయి. Those are not very significant. కొన్ని terrorism activities, it should be prioritized. Money laundering అనేది it may be because of multiple crimes. అందులో highest significant crimes ఏమొస్తాయి అందులో? టెర్రరిజం అనేది మోస్ట్ సిగ్నిఫికెంట్. నెక్స్ట్ నార్కోటిక్ డ్రగ్స్ మోస్ట్ సిగ్నిఫికెంట్. నెక్స్ట్ మర్డర్స్ మోస్ట్ సిగ్నిఫికెంట్. కరప్షన్ లెస్ సిగ్నిఫికెంట్ కంపేర్ టు అదర్స్. అంతే కదా, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ సో హార్మ్ఫుల్ ఫర్ ఎనీవన్. ఇట్ ఈస్ హార్మ్ఫుల్ ఫర్ ఎంటైర్ సొసైటీ, బట్ ఇండివిజువల్లీ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ సో హార్మ్ఫుల్ కంపేర్ టు మర్డర్స్, రేప్స్, వాటితో కంపేర్ చేసి ఇట్ ఈస్ బెటర్. సో ఇట్ ప్రయారిటైజెస్. క్లారిటీ ఉందా లేదా? ఓకే. సో పాయింట్ నెంబర్ 3, alert or case enrichment. Alert or case enrichment. Technology may be used in this case, and the investigations will show the relevant images to maps అని చూపిస్తుందట. సో వేర్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఇట్ హ్యాపెండ్, హౌ ఇట్ హ్యాపెండ్, దట్ కెన్ బి ఐడెంటిఫైడ్. సో లొకేషన్ కూడా ట్రేస్ అవుట్ చేయగలిగే ఛాన్స్. వీ కెన్ బి ఏబుల్ టు ట్రేస్ అవుట్ ద లొకేషన్ వేర్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ద క్రైమ్ హ్యాపెండ్. ఓకే. సో ఆటోమేటెడ్ SAR ఫైలింగ్స్. SAR అంటే ఏంటి? SAR సస్పీషియస్ యాక్టివిటీ రిపోర్టింగ్. ఓకే, సస్పీషియస్ యాక్టివిటీ రిపోర్టింగ్ అనుకున్నాం కదా. వీ నీడ్ టు రిపోర్ట్ టు ద హైయర్ అథారిటీ. ఆటోమేటిక్ ఇట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్. హోలిస్టిక్ ఎంటిటీ వ్యూ. హోలిస్టిక్. సో చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి సిన్స్ చైల్డ్హుడ్ వి లిసన్ టు ద వర్డ్ కాల్డ్ as హోలిస్టిక్. ఏంటి ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ హోలిస్టిక్ అంటే? వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఇట్ ఇస్ మెంట్ బై హోలిస్టిక్? హోలిస్టిక్ విన్నారు ఎప్పుడైనా? హోలిస్టిక్, హోలీ అంటే నార్మలీ పవిత్రమైన, అవునా కదా? బట్ హోలిస్టిక్ ఈజ్ సంథింగ్ డిఫరెంట్. హోలిస్టిక్ అంటే కవరింగ్ ఆల్ ద డైమెన్షన్స్, all the directions of an entity. So there is a transaction, there is a banking company. Banking company ki we are now trying to make an analysis. అందులో covering all the views అంటే receipts, payments, all the directions we will be able to cover. So that is called as holistic entity view. Holistic entity view. Did you understand? Holistic. What is the meaning of holistic? Multiple dimensions or multiple directions లో the investigation must be done. అది మీనింగ్ హోలిస్టిక్ అంటే. ఓకే. క్లయింట్ రిస్క్ రేటింగ్. సే బ్యాంక్స్ హ్యావ్ మల్టిపుల్ కస్టమర్స్, రైట్? అందులో ఫ్యూ ఆఫ్ ద క్లయింట్స్ కస్టమర్స్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ as క్లయింట్స్. ఫ్యూ ఆఫ్ ద క్లయింట్స్ ఎలా ఉన్నారట? హై రిస్క్, అంటే మోర్ ప్రోన్ టు సస్పిషియస్ యాక్టివిటీస్, అండ్ దాని వాళ్ళకి ప్రయారిటీ. సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్, యూ ఆల్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ద కస్టమర్స్ ఆఫ్ SBI. ఐఎమ్ SBI, యూ ఆల్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ద కస్టమర్స్. నో ఐ నీడ్ టు రేట్ యువర్ అకౌంట్స్. ఓకే, రెడ్ ఫ్లాగ్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, గ్రీన్ ఫ్లాగ్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, ఐ నీడ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై. సో హై రిస్క్ ప్రయారిటైజేషన్ ఐ నీడ్ టు డూ. సో క్లయింట్ వైజ్ వాట్? segregation of rating, giving the rating for client wise. So intelligent customer segmentation అంటే, సో ఎంటర్ ఆల్ ద కస్టమర్స్ ని వీఆర్ సెపరేటింగ్. ఓకే, బిజినెస్, అందులో బిజినెస్ లో మల్టిపుల్ టైప్స్, వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ బిజినెస్ ఆర్ దే ఇంటూ, అలా సెగ్మెంటేషన్ చేస్తాం. అండ్ వీ విల్ బి ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఆర్ డూ దిస్ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ సో ఈజీలీ when the customers are segmented. That can be the technique. So all the clients, separate them into multiple segments. అలా చేసుకోవచ్చట. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఈజీ ఫర్ దెమ్ టు సే ఇంటర్నేషనల్ డీలింగ్స్ ఉన్న క్లయింట్స్, దే ఆర్ సెపరేట్ సెగ్మెంట్. మోర్ ఫోకస్ మస్ట్ బి దేర్ ఆన్ దట్ సెగ్మెంట్. వై? బికాస్ దే ఆర్ మూవింగ్ ఫండ్స్ హియర్ అండ్ దేర్, ఫ్రమ్ ఇండియా టు అవుట్సైడ్ కంట్రీస్, ఫ్రమ్ అవుట్సైడ్ కంట్రీస్ టు ఇండియా, దే ఆర్ మూవింగ్ ద ఫండ్స్ అండ్ హెన్స్ దే ఆర్ టు బి మోర్ ఫోకస్డ్. అలా రేర్ అది. దిస్ ఈస్ రేర్ ఈవెంట్ డిటెక్షన్. Rare event. So it is not a regular activity. It's not a regular activity. So those kinds of events are to be detected by banks. This is called rare event detection. Okay. Peer-based anomaly detection. So peer-based anomaly detection ante, what is peer? Peer ante equal ranking. Peer ante you all people are peers. Because all you people are writing what? CMA Final. You all people are called as peers. So there is a client for a bank. All the transactions are happening at 1 lakh rupees range. All of a sudden, one transaction happened at 60 lakhs. This is called anomaly. ఏమని పిలుస్తారు దాన్ని? అనామలీ. వాట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as anomaly? Please write anomaly which is significantly different from others. Which is significantly different from others. Okay. And the last one, it is automated manual processes. Automated manual processes. You know this by the name itself, it is suggesting you to understand. ఏంటిది ఆటోమేటెడ్ మాన్యువల్ ప్రాసెస్ అంటే? See, before when you deal with a bank, earlier days lo when you deal with a bank, everything is in a manual process, right? Manual process అంటే ఏంటి? You need to write the application. Okay, all the KYC must be done over over paper form, right? Now everything is getting converted into automated form. అంటే ఆన్లైన్లోనే ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ హ్యాపెన్. అలా అనమాట. సో ఆన్లైన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మోర్ ప్రిఫరబుల్ వెన్ కంపేర్ టు దిస్ మాన్యువల్ ప్రాసెసెస్. అలా దిస్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ద టెక్నిక్ దట్ వీ కెన్ యూస్. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ వెన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆన్లైన్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఈజీ ఫర్ ద బ్యాంక్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద సస్పిషియస్ యాక్టివిటీస్, రైట్? సో ఆల్ దీస్ ఆర్ వాట్? దీస్ ఆర్ టెక్నిక్స్. సో టెక్నాలజీ అండ్ యాంటీ మనీ లాండరింగ్ యాక్ట్లో, అదే యాంటీ మనీ లాండరింగ్లో there are certain techniques where we use the technologies. These are the techniques. Okay, keep it as important. It may come in the final examination, you need to write. With this, in fact, I completed basics of money laundering. Basics of money laundering I completed. Okay, India lo we have an act, PMLA 2022. PMLA. What is PMLA? Can you say the full form of PMLA? Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Prevention. Write the full form. Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002.
Prevention of Money Laundering Act.
Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. It is an Indian law. అది ఇండియన్ లా. ఓకేనా? PMLA 2002. Point number 1. See, we are now into the provisions of PMLA, so which are applicable in India. Slowly we will try to complete. It is an act to prevent money laundering and confiscation of illegally obtained funds. Is there anything for me to explain here? Read that first sentence and let me know, can I go to second point or not? There is nothing to explain in the first point. It is an act to prevent money laundering and confiscation of, what is called confiscation? Getting the money back. Okay, you obtain some funds by way of crime. Okay, and that money may be seized now. That money may be confiscated. Confiscated and taking that money back. Okay, confiscated. Illegally obtained funds. Point number 1, it is so easy. Come to point number 2. Offense under PMLA covers most of the instances of converting black money into white money. So in this PMLA, majority of the provisions, they focus on what? Conversion of black money into white money. So, and we just need to prevent that activity. So that is the main intent of this law. Okay, the main intent of this law is what? Prevention of conversion of black money into white money. Okay, next one. It is basically associated with curbing. Curb అంటే ఏంటి? Curb అంటే రెస్ట్రిక్ట్. కర్బ్ కలపడం అంటే ఏంట్రా? కలపడం క్లబ్బింగ్ కాదు. కర్బ్ అంటే రెస్ట్రిక్టింగ్, మినిమైజింగ్. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ బేసికలీ అసోసియేటెడ్ విత్ కర్బింగ్ ప్రొసీడ్స్ ఆఫ్ క్రైమ్. and punishing those who are indulged. What is called as indulged? Who are involved. Indulgent ఏంటంట? Involved. Indulged, comma, assisted. So those persons who committed the crime or those persons who assisted the crime. So indulge is different to assistant is different. Indulged అంటే participating, doing the activity. Assisted అంటే helping. Okay, and is a party to such proceeds of crime. And is a party to such proceeds of crime. అంటే party to such proceeds of crime అంటే, for example, I got the money, so I have committed a fraud. I committed a crime, and instead of getting the money in my bank account, I asked him to keep the money in your bank account. And that criminal funds, the proceeds of that crime is now deposited in your account, and you are now the party to the crime. నీ account లో పడ్డాను, and you are now the party to the crime. So come to point number 4. The offenses under PMLA are defined under 3 parts. Part A, Part B, Part C of the schedule. ఇక్కడ very very important, come to attachment of property. Attachment of property under PMLA. See, I committed a crime and got the money, and from that money I purchased a property. Okay, now the money is not in the form of cash, it is in the form of properties. Okay, so now those properties must be attached. Attached ante enti? Attached ante, say example, there is a criminal proceeding which is initiated on PMLA lo. There is a hierarchy, director, deputy director la untaru. Okay, those people, they started investigating my books of accounts, and in that books of accounts they got to know I purchased a property from the criminal proceeds. Now there is high possibility for the department to attach that property. Attach into the meaning ఏంటంటే తీసేసుకుంటారు. Okay, they take all that assets, they sell it. Okay, so మామూలుగా cash may be confiscated, property may be what? Attached అంటే ఏంటి? తీసేసుకుంటారు. సే ఇంకా సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్, you need to pay the income tax, right? So when you fail to pay the income tax or GST, ఏం చేస్తారంటే the department will come to you and they will attach your property. And then because you are not paying, you may not be having that cash reserves in your hands. So instead of asking cash, they go to your assets and they attach your assets. Attach అంటే ఏంటంటే taking care of your assets. They get your assets, they sell it and get the money. And if there is any money which is extra, that will be given back to you. Extra unte malli back ichestar. Okay, the income tax department, they need from you 2 crore rupees as tax. They sold some asset, it is 5 crores. They recover 2 crores and they pay back you how much? 3 crores. Pay you back 3 crores. Now PMLA attachment of property. PMLA lo attachment. So what is this property? Now you obtained the property from the proceeds of the criminal activity, and that property may be now seized by whom? The department, PMLA department. Okay, if the assets constitute any proceeds of crime, assets నీకు ఎలా వచ్చేంట? How did you get the asset? Proceeds of crime, then it can be attached by the authorities. Easy. Earlier it was difficult to confiscate the properties located outside India. When you buy an asset outside India, it was very difficult for the government to attach that property because it is located outside India. However, but under the amendment of Finance Act 2015, even foreign assets can also be attached. Okay, if you buy any foreign property, then that foreign property may also be attached from 2015. Okay, but ensure that attachment should be equivalent to the proceeds of the crime. See, the proceeds of the crime is 1 crore. The property attached is 5 crores. అలా ఉండకూడదు. So what should match? So proceeds 5 crores, attachment 1 crore. అలా కూడా ఉండకూడదు. Both must match. See, ensure that attachment should be equivalent to proceeds of crime. The power of attachment should be in the hands of, చెప్పాను కదా, డైరెక్టర్, డెప్యూటీ డైరెక్టర్, దట్ ద డిపార్ట్మెంట్ అథారిటీస్ లో హైరార్కీ విల్ బి దేర్. అందులో హైయెస్ట్ అథారిటీ విల్ బి ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఎడ్యుకేటింగ్ అథారిటీ. ఎడ్యుకేటింగ్ అథారిటీ అంటే ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఫైండింగ్, కోర్ట్ టైప్. ఎడ్యుకేటింగ్ అథారిటీ అండర్లో హూ విల్ బి దేర్? డైరెక్టర్ or deputy director, and those persons will have that authority to attach the property for a maximum period of 180 days. Okay, directors must inform the reasons to first highest authority ఏమన్నాను? adjudicating authority. Okay, adjudicating authority. AD, JU, DI, CA, TING, adjudicating authority. Okay, now this director who attached the property must give the reasons for the same, why the property is been attached. The reasons must be given to whom? Fact finding authority called as adjudicating authority. Okay, next one. Directors must inform the reasons of attachment to AA. What is AA? AA and ఏంటి? Adjudicating authority. The persons whose property are attached also present his defense and can challenge the attachment order. What does it mean? Say I am an innocent person. Okay, there is a criminal proceeding which is instituted, which is commenced, and the director attached my property. Now I can have the defense proceedings. అంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? I can say there is no crime which is committed by me. Okay, I can keep a lawyer and I can represent myself before the court, adjudicating authority. ఏం చెప్పొచ్చు? బాబు నేను ఏం చేయలేదు, ఐ హావ్ నాట్ డన్ ఎనీథింగ్ అని చెప్పి I can have that authority to defend, right? And I can also challenge the attachment. This attachment of my property, it is invalid. This is not to be done because there is no proper reason behind it. Okay, there is no proper evidence that I committed that fraud or crime. So it is not possible for the department to come and attach my property and చెప్పి I can go against them. So this is last point, 6th point. See, the person whose properties are attached can also present his defense and can challenge attachment order. PMLA లో arrest can also be done. Arrest, because it is all because of crime only, right? So you can also be arrested. Now who has that power to arrest? Who can arrest? First one, director, deputy director, assistant director, AD అని పిలుస్తారు, assistant director, తర్వాత any other officer authorized. And why one should be arrested? Next area, why one should be arrested? Why? Guilty of offense punishable under PMLA. Guilty of offense punishable under PMLA. Meaning guilty అంటే మీకు తెలుసు what is the guilty? Money laundering crime. Okay, guilty if it is proved. And also before arresting we need to record the reasons in writing. What exactly happened? Why are we arresting? It must be recorded in writing. Why to arrest him? And after the arrest is made, inform the grounds of arrest. Grounds of arrest అంటే why? ఎందుకు? Why? Inform the grounds of arrest. Forward the copy of arrest to whom? Adjudicating authority. Babu, we are arresting him, and reasons must be informed to whom? Adjudicating authority. And also produce such arrested person before whom? Special courts. Special వేరు, courts వేరు కాదు. Special courts. There is no comma. Special courts within 24 hours. After a person is been arrested, within 24 hours, okay, with whom we need to produce them? Special courts ముందు 24 hours లో we need to show them. Before that special court he should be appeared. The arrested person must be appeared before 24 hours. అతను appear అవ్వాలంటే we should produce. Okay. Next one, note. No arrest warrant required. This is important. No arrest warrant required. See, arrest warrant ante generally it is given by courts. It is fully legal language. Arrest warrant ante before you arrest someone, you go to the court, okay, show them all the reasons, and the court will write a letter, okay, that is called warrant. And a warrant, when the court wants to write, court must be reasonably justified. ఏంటి that the person has committed the fraud in. Then the court will give you what? Warrant. A police will carry that warrant, go to the criminal's home and arrest him. అలా చేయొచ్చు. Okay, this is called warrant. And sometimes without warrant also we can go and arrest. Warrant కూడా అవసరం లేదు. Okay, you don't need to prove the court completely, because as it is very serious offense, there is no time for the police to go and get the warrant. So instead of getting the warrant, go and take the permission of court. That's it. Permission తీసుకుంటే చాలట. ఓకే, ఎందుకంటే we need to prove them, బాబు it is very significant, please give us permission, we go and get the person అని చెప్పి అడుగుతారట. పర్మిషన్ is different, warrant is different. ఓకే, పర్మిషన్ అండ్ వారెంట్ బోత్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్. సో చూడండి, నో అరెస్ట్ వారెంట్ ఈస్ రిక్వైర్డ్. నో అరెస్ట్ వారెంట్ ఈస్ రిక్వైర్డ్ అంటే వెరీ సీరియస్ అఫెన్స్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఇమీడియట్లీ ఆన్ ఎమర్జెన్సీ బేసిస్ ఈ మస్ట్ బి అరెస్టెడ్ అనుకోండి, అరెస్ట్ వారెంట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్. గో అండ్ గెట్ దట్ పర్సన్. పోలీస్ మే గో అండ్ గెట్ దట్ పర్సన్. అరెస్ట్ వారెంట్ ఈస్ నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్ ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్. పిఎంఎల్ఏలో ఓకే, అండ్ దోస్ అరెస్ట్ వారెంట్ వెన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్, దోస్ అఫెన్సెస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ ఎస్ కాగ్నిజబుల్ అఫెన్సెస్. అఫెన్సెస్ ఏమని పిలుస్తారు? కాగ్నిజబుల్ అఫెన్సెస్. హియర్ కాగ్నిజబుల్, what exactly it is meant by cognizable అంటే ఏంటి? what is called as cognizable? No arrest warrant is required. ఓకే, అరెస్ట్ వారెంట్ అవసరం లేదు. నాన్ బెయిలబుల్. నాన్ బెయిలబుల్, నాన్ బెయిలబుల్ అంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే, నాన్ బెయిలబుల్, ఎగ్జాక్ట్ మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ నాన్ బెయిలబుల్ అంటే యూ కెన్ గెట్ ద కోర్ట్ పర్మిషన్ and go and arrest the person. Go and arrest the person. And after he is arrested, okay, after he is arrested, ఏముండదు? బెయిల్ ఉండదు. బెయిల్తో he cannot get out of the station. There is no possibility of bail because court has already given the permission. However, anticipatory bail can be obtained. Anticipatory bail అంటే, say example, I am the person, నేను విక్టిమ్. ఓకే, విక్టిమ్ అంటే ఎలా? కోర్ట్ ప్రొసీడింగ్స్ ఆర్ ఇనిషియేటెడ్ అగేన్స్ట్ మీ. పోలీస్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ టు మీ అండ్ అరెస్ట్. బిఫోర్ దే కమ్ అండ్ అరెస్ట్, I may apply anticipatory bail and I can show that anticipatory bail and restrict them to arrest me. ఆ పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది. యాంటిసిపేటరీ బెయిల్ అంటే బిఫోర్ దే అరెస్ట్ ఐ కెన్ షో దిస్ బెయిల్ అండ్ ఎస్కేప్ ఫ్రమ్ దెమ్. అంటే పోలీస్ విల్ గో టు ద కోర్ట్ టు గెట్ ద పర్మిషన్ అండ్ మీ యూజింగ్ మై లాయర్ గో అండ్ గెట్ ద యాంటిసిపేటరీ బెయిల్. అలా అవుతుంది. వన్స్ ఐఎమ్ అరెస్టెడ్, నాకు మళ్ళీ ఏమి రాదు? బెయిల్ రాదు. సో ద బేసిక్ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ కాగ్నిజబుల్ అండ్ నాన్ బెయిలబుల్ అంటే, కాగ్నిజబుల్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ the police can arrest even without warrant. Okay, very serious offense. Non bailable ante ఇది కూడా serious offense, but just by getting the court permission you can go and arrest. Court permission తెచ్చుకొని you can go and arrest. But anticipatory bail can be applied. What is called as anticipatory bail? Before the arrest is made, I can show that bail and escape from that arrest. Okay, please read bail under PMLA. So PMLA లో ఉన్న offenses generally they are non-bailable and cognizable. So what is cognizable? Without warrant issued by court. What is non-bailable? Just by court permission they can come and arrest. But before they come and arrest, I can show what? Beautiful. Anticipatory bail may be given. That's it. సుమన్ అట, సమన్ సార్. Somano. It is not suman, it is what? Summons. Summons. Summon ante a written document which is given to someone asking them to come and attend. Okay. But say he is the person who has committed the crime. Now summons are issued to him in writing asking him to come and attend the investigation. Summons. Okay. Summons, survey, search, size ka seize. Seize. Seize అంటే ఏంటి? Seize అంటే ఏంటి? Restricting them to use. The government will hand over that property. Seize the property. శివాజీ మూవీలో సీజ్ చేస్తాం. ఎంటైర్ హౌస్ విల్ బి సీజ్డ్. సీల్ వేసేస్తారు. దే ఆర్ నాట్ అలౌడ్ టు గో ఇన్ సైడ్. ఓకే. సో సమన్స్, సర్వే, సర్చ్, సీజ్. అండర్ పిఎంఎల్ఏ ద ఆఫీసర్స్ హ్యావ్ ద పవర్ టు ఎంటర్ ప్రాపర్టీ, ప్రెమిసెస్ అండ్ పవర్ ఆఫ్ సర్చ్, సీజర్. సో సీజర్నే దే ఆర్ కాలింగ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ అటాచ్మెంట్. రెస్ట్రిక్టింగ్ ద అదర్ పర్సన్ టు గో. సీజ్ చేస్తారట. సో అండర్ పిఎంఎల్ఏ if there is any property which is purchased from the proceeds of the crime, then the department may come and they can search the property and seize the property. So point number 1 clear or no? Point number 1 easy. Come to point number 2. Their powers are, ఎవరు ఆ department they come to search, right? Their powers are to enter and search any building, any place, vessel and ship, vessel, vehicle, aircraft, anything can be searched. They can break or open the lock of any door, box, locker, safe, almara. Anything can be broken. Erakotis vetakochu. Because you may store that money somewhere, hiding it. A lot of movies we watched it. Oh God, there is a wall there. Okay, it looks like a wall. Okay, ela knock chestadu. The hero will lock. Malana hero will knock it. So different places lo different sounds will come. Based on the sound they will break it. Once they break that wall, instead of bricks and cement, what will be there? Money. Black money will be there. That can be seized now. So this is what we identified. Break, open the lock of any door, box, locker, safe, almara, etc. ఏమెవరు సారీ చెప్పి వెళ్ళిపోడు. సో వెన్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో మనీ ఇన్సైడ్ దట్ వాల్ దే వోంట్ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ ఇట్ బ్యాక్. ఓకే, దే విల్ సే సారీ, రాంగ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అని చెప్పి దే జస్ట్ గో అవుట్ అంతే. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ you must take care of this wall. Again reconstruct it. Seize any records and property papers. Okay, any kind of records or property papers may be what? Seized. And fourth point, placement of identification marks. And now they come to verify, right? So akkada raskuntaru, this we verified, that we verified, and they keep some identification marks. Ala pettukochu. Say records, whenever they verify, in that record they identified some suspicious activities that may be identified. Some marks may be put in place for those transactions, for those records. Identification marks pettachu. Make a note or take inventory of such records. So what did we verify annadi they can take a note. Next one, examine any person on oath. Meaning, what does it mean? They may examine any person on oath ante oral ga they can made that person may be made sit before you and you may ask them. They may need to give you the answer. Okay, examination on oath. Okay, retention of records under PMLA chadukondi, idi easy only. This is exam. This one is important for examination purposes. Summons, survey, search, seize. Okay, different points. And how many points are there? 6 points are there. Okay, please read this question carefully. So after the search is made, the department confiscated some records. How much period they can retain that records? 180 days. Retention of records after the search is made in the premises. If the records are confiscated, then it can be retained by the department for how many days? 180 days. And after the completion of 180 days, it must be returned. And if the permission of adjudicating authority is taken, then can be retained beyond 180 days. And primarily it is 180 days. But if you take the permission of AA, then beyond 180 days also you can retain the records of that particular criminal. Right? It's shown interconnected transactions. So I am verifying the books of accounts of one person and I identified a transaction. He received, say, imagine 50 crore rupees from another person. Okay, now you got doubt on that another person. Now you can go to that other person and verify. And related parties, ఇలా ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారనుకోండి. So primarily I went to verify Vishnu, but I identified a transaction which is interconnected with another person called Pujita. Can I go to verify Pujita's premises or not? Yes, it is also possible. That is called as interconnected transactions. Please read. If there is any presumption that there is an existence of interconnected transactions, then enter searches is power can also be applied on related parties. If you have any doubt on interconnected people, then you can go and exercise the powers called as search seizure on them also. Okay, done. See, Vishnu is now arrested. Okay, and he is now, the criminal proceedings are being started against Vishnu. Now, is there any responsibility on Vishnu to prove that he is innocent? And whose responsibility is that? I am not the person who has committed the crime. And who needs to prove? Vishnu only. Onus to prove. Onus means responsibility. Onus. You can write onus. Onus means what? Responsibility. The burden of proof. Onus, burden and responsibility. The burden of proof lies on the person who got arrested. In my example, who got arrested? Vishnu got arrested. And it is his responsibility only to prove that he or she not involved and must give this declaration on its own, in his own handwriting with signature to plead not guilty. నేనే తప్పు చేయలేదు. Not guilty means what? I have not committed any mistake. And he needs to write in his own handwriting and it must be submitted. Okay, so the onus, the burden to prove that he is innocent, he can plead the guilty, I think, plead not guilty. What does it mean? Plead not guilty. That I have not committed any mistake అని చెప్పడం. So he needs to prove. It is the responsibility of Mr. Vishnu only. Okay, special court or adjudicating authorities may consider it and proceed accordingly. Special courts may consider whose declaration? Vishnu's declaration and proceed accordingly. There is another way to get discharged. ఇంకో వే కూడా ఉందట డిశ్చార్జ్ అయిపోవడానికి. ఓకే, యాక్సెప్ట్ and pay all the money back. See, there is another way to get discharged. That is by disclosing his source of income, earnings, assets, everything must be disclosed by the person who got arrested. ఒకసారి టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ ఇవ్వండి, గివ్ మీ ద టెక్స్ట్ బుక్. అక్కడ ప్లీజ్ చేంజ్ ద వర్డ్, ఫోర్త్ పాయింట్. ద పర్సన్ who is being investigated, who is being అది being investigated must give truthful statements to whom? Director, additional director, joint director, deputy director, assistant director, whoever is investigating. The person who is being investigated must provide that information which is true. అంటే నిన్ను ఎవరైనా అడిగారు అనుకో, నువ్వేం చెప్పాలి? నిజం చెప్పాలి. ఓకే, సో ద పర్సన్ హూ ఈజ్ బీయింగ్ ఇన్వెస్టిగేటెడ్ అంటే హూ, ఇన్ మై ఎగ్జాంపుల్ విష్ణు, మస్ట్ గివ్ all truthful statements to whom? The person who is investigating the same. Who is investigating? Either it may be director, AD, JD, DD. Additional, assistant, both are different. Okay, next one. The person who is called upon to make the statement later on. Wait a minute. See, a person who is called upon to make the statement later on this thing. A person who is called upon to make the statement cannot be accused of an cannot said to be accused. Cannot said to be accused of an offense. Cannot said to be accused of an offense. Meaning enti? Say example, I asked Mr. Vishnu, summoned Mr. Vishnu to attend the investigation. He got here and he is giving some information. Because of that reason, he cannot be said to be the criminal. Because the offense is not yet proved. Athan information summon chesi, just investigation is being started. In that process of investigation, you cannot say he is the ultimate criminal. Okay? After the investigation is fully completed, then it is possible for the department to say he is a criminal. Antekani during the process of investigation, because he is providing some information, because he is cooperating for the investigation, you cannot call him as accused of an offense. Athan accused chesi kodu man. You cannot come to a conclusion that he is a criminal. Okay, that is fifth point. That's it. Because the investigation is only the investigation is only to collect evidence about the proceeds of the crime in the hands of the persons suspected. So investigation, it is just a process of collecting the evidence. After it is critically examined, then you can be in a position to say whether he is a criminal or not. During the investigation itself, you cannot say someone as a person who is accused of the offense. అలా చెప్పడానికి అవ్వదు. ఓకే, బికాస్ ఇక్కడ రాసుకోండి, investigation because investigation is just a process of collecting the evidence. It is just a process of collecting the evidence. About the proceeds of the crime. About the proceeds of the crime. And hence, conclusions cannot be arrived. Conclusions cannot be arrived without fully completing the investigation. Without fully completing the investigation. Without fully completing the investigation. That's it. We completed first part. 18th lo introduction part, it is over. 18th chapter. Second point is international standards on combating money laundering and financing of terrorism and proliferation. Okay. This is 18.1. This is 18.2. International standards on combating money laundering and financing the terrorist and proliferation. Okay. We can do this tomorrow. This రేపు కంటిన్యూ చేయాలి. Okay.